What up, watch peeps? Let's do a little watch project today. I guess technically it's a mod, but not really. It's almost too easy to be considered a mod. I got in one of those G-Shock kits from AliExpress that lets you change up the look of your G. So let's give a new look to my GA2100. That's the model that's more affectionately known as the Casioak. This is my watch, bought the kit myself, nothing was donated. Real quick before we get started, if you enjoy the channel, subscribing is a huge help and always much appreciated. Alright, let's get to it. I'm Pete, and we are chilling with watches. Alright, first things first, wrist check. Today I am wearing the Christopher Ward C65 Vintage Automatic. This is actually Random Rob's watch. He let me borrow it, and yeah, I might keep it. You have to come and get it, Rob. Nah, I'm just kidding. That's a really cool watch, though. Alright, let's do something cool. So, I started with a Casioak, you know, the GA2100, and as you can see, I've already modded this. I took the stock camo bezel off and put the metal bezel with the index screws. And because I think it doesn't look enough like a Royal Oak yet, we're going to take it one step further. So what we've got here is, and yeah, I know Jody beat me to it, but I'm making the video anyway. So, I can get this out of here. All right, here's the new case. And as you can see, let's unwrap it. All right, there we go. So yeah, so you can see this compared to the original. The bezel is a little thinner, same index screws, but really it's the rest of the case there where it shines here. You'll see it looks a little more like the Royal Oak and a little less like the GA2100. You'll see that, I mean, this with those, the case shape and all, other than the bezel is, and with the screws and the brushing, is really exactly the same as the GA2100, whereas this is a little bit different of a look. So, they even need these kits, and you see the bracelet is insanely incredible looking. Together with the case, that is just gonna look bonkers. So, first step on these, they even give you all the tools with these kits, and I don't know, they sound like a metal keeper. Obviously that doesn't go with the bracelet, but I guess you could use it with one of your stock straps. So these little kits you get, they even give you the tools. So the first step is to remove these screws here, which is not very difficult. You want to make sure you keep downward pressure on them so that you don't strip the screws or the plastic. All right, I did not like that screwdriver, so I'm switching to this, which is actually a screwdriver that came with another similar kit to this. So yeah, just like I said, maintain downward pressure. If you have one with the pivoting head, you just keep your palm on the head, press down, and then you just twist. Toe screw becomes unseated. That's that. All right, I'm going to go get the other three. Okay, with all four screws out, the outer case will just come right off. This one doesn't even have to pop over. You'll see the original underneath the buttonholes, how, let me see. You have this part underneath. That actually has to pop over the buttons when you're putting it on, but with these replacement cases, no such problem, so they literally just slide right on and off. And so that's off. How about a GA2100 that's round? So we can take a quick look what the new case will look like. Oh yeah, feels like it's got a really good fit. Sometimes you would get side-to-side play or torsion, a little twist play to it, and they would give you, there's none in this kit. Let me see if I have some. Okay, so if you've ever gotten one of these kits and it came with these in it and you didn't know what this was, that's what these are for, is to eliminate any play. What you do is you put them on the inside of the case along this surface. Those notches are where the buttonholes go. and they just add a little bit of thickness. You can put one on one side or one on each side depending on how much play you have, and what that'll do is tighten up the fit of the case over top of, you know, the sub case or whatever you want to call it. But this one actually fits real good. None of that is necessary whatsoever. Now these J2100, the stock straps do have quick release, but I mean, you can see they're inset and difficult to get to. So I still end up using a strap change tool to hit the button there, but they come off easily enough. All right, so now there's really no top or bottom to these replacement cases. To make sure it still fits good. All right, let me see. They should have came with some screws here. So I'm going to go ahead and get those out. All right, let's get some of this stuff out of here. It's a little bit distracting in the background. And here are these screws. Replacement screws that will hold the case in. And there are 4. Now I know this set, sorry, focus there. I know this set came with a screwdriver, but I'm going to use Bergeon. And the thing with Bergeon tools that a lot of people don't understand is these are watchmaker screwdrivers. They are designed to be softer than the screws or like the watch parts that you'll be working on, so that if you do slip, you're more likely to damage the screwdriver tip than the irreplaceable screws or plates or whatever watch part you're working on. Now these are meant to be redressed. They have like a little tool that has wheels on it, and you lay it over top of a stone and you move it back and forth, and you can refinish this tip. And eventually when you've redressed and can no longer redress or refinish the tip, you can actually replace them. So that is why I prefer to always use these screwdrivers. So first screw there. When you're screwing these in, you want to make sure you're pressing the case into the cover so that it is all the way in. And I always give a back quarter turn when I first start these, just to make sure that I've fallen into the previous threads, because you are threading into plastic. And I usually don't go 100% tight on the first one. I just get it seated, and then I move and I do the opposite corner, kind of like doing lug nuts on a car tire. So I'm going to get the rest of these screws in. Okay, so once you get all the screws seated, then I go back and retighten them all finally. And you want to go just until you feel a bit of resistance, and basically just enough to get them recessed inside the case. You're being careful not to over tighten, because you will strip the plastic that you're screwing into if you do that. But that's on, and that looks super cool. So let's unwrap the bracelet and get that on here. All right, got that unwrapped. Butterfly clasp. I'm gonna have to take some getting used to. And they actually give you similar quick release spring bars to go with this. And they just slide in. Let's see if we can get this. I like the final closure to be on the 6 o'clock side. So once that quick release is set in there, I'm just going to slide this in. Hopefully that pin finds its first place. Press down the quick release till it's in. Usually a little jiggle will get that to seat, and it went right in. Other side. Same thing, slot that. I always open up the bracelet, it gives me a little more room. So again, you can see I'm just sitting that in the bottom hole. And these quick release buttons are a little more prominent. I do not need a tool. I can actually get that in there. And sometimes you got to give it a little wiggle until you're fully seated. It feels like it went in. And there you have it. That is pretty cool. Now, this is not a uber flexible bracelet here that folds completely over on itself. And if the real Royal Oak does that or not, I have no idea. But it looks cool. So let's pop this on wrist and see how it looks. So the bracelet looks like it has pretty nice screw pins for the links. So I'm going to go ahead and get a couple of those out. Just want to show you the screws real quick that they use. So they thread at the top, which I really like this design. So the rest is just a pin. Yeah, I like that screw design. I think it's more structurally sound. So yeah, I took 2 links out, 1 out of each side. And that actually fits pretty good. Now, you know, butterfly, so you got no micro adjust. So, I'm wearing it upside down. No micro adjust, so I got pretty lucky that this actually fits pretty good. But all in all, that bracelet looks really good. I mean, these chamfers aren't top of the line or anything, but this was like a $60 kit. But, I mean, I think it's kind of fun, and it gives a little bit of a unique look to your GA2100. Alright, let's wrap this thing up.
Peep the Lume.
It's always funny to do a Peep the Lume on a watch that isn't particularly loomy. The way these work is it actually like there's a little flashlight there. Pretty cool. Alright, let's flip the camera around. So that's it, guys. This is the GA2100 with the 2nd generation of the Royal Oak case and bracelet overlay on it. I really like this one because it doesn't have any G-Shock or Casio branding on it. Is it a little on the nose for an homage? Sure, but I mean, it's a lot of fun. Let me know what you guys think. Share your thoughts. But real quick, I want to share with you guys how the mod world is not all sunshine and rainbows. Things go wrong. Take a look at this. Alright, so when I was shooting some of the macros for this particular video, I noticed this. I don't know if you can see it there. Look at this side of the bezel where it meets the case and this side. You'll see the gap there. Let's see if you can see it better from this side. There, you can see a little better there. The bezel is not fully seated on the case. Now, I tried to press this down, and I can't do it with my hand. I don't want to put it in a crystal press with this case on there, because if you look, you'll see it will actually put pressure right on the module. It'd probably be fine. It's a G-Shock, but why risk it, right? Good news is I contacted the company I bought this from. They responded within 5 minutes, and they actually had shipped out a replacement case for me within 30. So good news there, but that's not the only mod issue I ran into recently. I was building this mod, which everything up until this point went together fantastically. Bezel action, oh, it's butter. The hands went on perfect, everything is beautiful. And then I went to put on the bezel insert. So I had this cool 12-hour dual time bezel insert. But I don't know if you can see from here. It doesn't fit over the crystal. You can't seat it because it doesn't fit down over the top edge of the crystal. I thought, oh, maybe this insert, maybe the inside diameter of this insert is off. So I had another one. Now this one I've had on a mod. I knew it fit. Try this. Same exact problem. And I even tried a stock SKX aluminum insert. And while you can get it seated, it actually got stuck, kind of like this one, on the inside, around the outside of the crystal. The outside of this crystal is too large. I guess it's a bad cut crystal. So yeah, it's unusable like this. You can't get an insert in there. It's going to need a new crystal. So this was sent to me with some other parts, and I was putting it together as a favor. So we have to figure out what we're going to do with that. I don't know who this is ultimately destined to go to, if they want to buy a new crystal and send it to me, or I can send it like this and they can take it from here. But yeah, so you see, things go wrong. You will run into problems. All right, so that's that. I thought that was worthwhile to mention to you guys, just so you know, it happens. So I really dig this. I almost wasn't going to buy it, but El Jefe talked me into it, and I'm kind of happy he did. So real quick, sneaker check. Wearing my 350s again today. Summertime favorite. Alright, that's it. I'm out. If it's not too much trouble, like, subscribe, and come back next time. Peace.